Hello, my beautiful Aquarius, and welcome to your past life. This is going to be past life messages and ancestor messages for you guys, okay? So we're going to get right into this, mi amores. I hope that everyone is having a beautiful, hello. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. I'm Erica. I am a psychic medium and a priestess. It's so nice to meet you if you are finding this channel for the first time. And those of you guys returning, welcome back, my loves. Okay. So let's go ahead and tune in with Aquarius's energy. I'm going to start with Keepers of the Light Oracle by Kyle Gray. Here we go. If I can remember, I will try to find this deck and tag it for you guys just in case. And other decks that maybe I use in this reading too. Okay, here we go. For Aquarius, I keep wanting to say Scorpio because I just recorded Scorpio's message. So I don't know, Scorpio, could be, resonant to you, but I feel like it's like Scorpio energy more than anything, like in past lives. Exactly. So Freya is like, she's a goddess Freya. She's very connected to, like, what I'm getting is Norwegian, like the Norse energy, Norse mythology. I'm also getting Celtic, very strong Celtic energy too. And now I'm receiving the word druid. So you could have past lives where you are a druid, were a druid. You could be very connected to the lands, to the druids, Merlin, Avalon, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, etc. Glastonbury, which is like, Glastonbury, UK is like, it's Avalon. It's like the Mists of Avalon, right? But it's Avalon. Okay. So Goddess Freya speaks of phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. And the full moon, so you could have a really strong connection with like the crow, the raven as well. Like, they follow magical people. They follow us, right? Animals follow us, birds follow us, but specifically certain types of birds, etc., right? So you have you've always had a very strong connection with spirit, with source. I feel like some of you guys, like you have very strong like mediumship gifts, okay? So you tune in and connect very easily to the spiritual realm, to the animal kingdom, to the spirit animal guides. You're very connected to the moon. You could be a moon goddess, or you just like, a lunar goddess, a moon goddess. I am being shown a crescent moon on the third eye, and that is a symbolism of the priestess. In many of your lifetimes, you've worked a lot with the moon, like harnessing its energy, using it for, amplification of energy or gifts, or I'm also just getting like the nighttime. You might be like more of a night person because you really connect with like the moon, the stars, the nighttime. I don't know, but I'm getting all of that. And then obviously like a deep connection with Goddess Freya, or maybe Freya is one of your spirit guides. Like she's a guide, like maybe you get a lot of references from her. If you're not, or you probably will now, because, if you are new here, like anytime you come here and connect with me on my channel, it's also going to be like activating for you. So it'll help open things. Bottom of the deck is my beautiful sister, Mary Magdalene. Okay, we are doing a Sacred Magdalene Code retreat in September, you guys, in the south of France, which is where Mary Magdalene lived, and she spent out her days, and the land is very activated. It's very powerful. It's actually where her and Yeshua and their children, etc., like lived out their days. Okay, like the whole story of the Bible and like all the things and like how he's in this tomb and like, okay, that's not real. That's not true at all. There's pieces of it that are real, but they had children, they had a family, okay, so anyways, but I'm co-hosting this beautiful retreat with my beloved soul family and friends, Stellar and John. They are emanations embodying and embodiments of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. I'm not saying they are, obviously, they're not Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, but they're embodiments of them. So Stellar, as a channel and a guide and a priestess, she's teaching the true sacred Magdalene codexes. Okay, so if you want to hear more about this retreat, because we still have some spaces available, it's not till September. Payment plans are available. Stellar and John, they've been doing these retreats, you guys, for 10 years all around the world. But they will work with you. Okay, payment plans, you know, all the things, like they will work with you if you're like, I really truly feel called to be there, etc. Okay, so just, we don't want money to be like a concern that like stops people to, you know, what their soul is calling them to do, because this retreat is an initiation. This retreat is a massive activation, a massive healing, just so much, you guys. Everyone's getting certified in level 1 and 2 of their Holy White Flame Temple training, which is very, very high level quantum technology for healing. That's the kind of work that Mary and Yeshua did all the time. Okay, so anyways, like how, you know, how he helped a blind man see, it's like that. Okay, this is not because God gave him some miraculous gift that no one else could. That's not the case at all. That's just what the church, you know, there's, you guys know all the things. So anyways, okay, if you want to hear more about it, you guys, I pinned it in the comments below. Click on the YouTube link, watch the like 17-minute video that I did where I go in more detail, and then you can reach out to me via email and we can proceed and move forward. Okay, we'd love to have you guys. This is so, I can't even wait. I know it'll come so fast, you know, like, but I can't wait. It's just going to be so incredible. So anyways, Mary Magdalene, you have ties to probably France or other lands, sacred, like Egypt, Atlantis. You could be connected with like the Isis energy. Isis, it's all these, it's connected. They're all connected, right? Like Mary was an initiate of Isis, and she, you know, attended and worked within the Isis mystery schools and, you know, things like that. So all of this is relevant to your past lives, okay? So you could be a sister of the rose, a brother of the rose. I'm getting very strong, like, Ascended Master Melchizedek and the Melchizedek order. I'm also getting very strong Archangel Michael energy. So I feel like I'm talking to earth angels. You could be an angelic, like angelic blood. You are an earth angel. A high priestess, a high priest, an oracle, a quantum healer, a medium. I am getting very strong mediumship, okay? Like, very strong, like divine feminine, like leadership energy here for sure. So in past lives, okay, you've connected to all of this. It says a teacher awakens. Mary Magdalene brings the message of a teacher awakening. You could be very called to, you know, connected, I mean, to the roses, like roses. Maybe you have a rose tattoo, or you've always just like loved the scent of rose, and you know, having roses or buying yourself roses. And then the white lily, okay, which is all connected to the lineage of the rose, to the Magdalenas. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call and don't let anyone stop you. And that's like literally this, okay? So right now, you guys, like, you're like with the Freya message of like phases and cycles, there's a beginning with every ending. Like, you literally just completed like a huge, it's completion in a huge way. And it's connected to your past lives. So you're a generational curse breaker. You have freed your lineage of some things here, something massive that you've healed, that you've ascended beyond, that you know, it was a limitation before, it was an illusion, and now it's no longer a limitation now, right? So it's like clearing your bloodlines. It's freeing your lineage. It's freeing your ancestors. Okay, so I'm hearing job well done. Okay, so what that means is like you've been, it's karma, it's different things, and right, like through many lifetimes. And in this lifetime, that's why it's been so hard and difficult, because you are healing and closing things out and ascending beyond things that have been accumulating for so many lifetimes, you guys. That's why it feels so powerful. You know? Like, a lot of resistance, a lot of loneliness, a lot of tests, a lot of tests of faith, patience, you know, trust, releasing control, like all these things, right? But you are a great teacher. Like, you've taught like quantum technology. You've taught, you know, people how to like heal and connect with their gifts, and like, you know, you're a way shower, you're a teacher. So right now, like, that great teacher within you, Aquarius, that's awakening. Like, it's time for you to step into your teacher energy, your way shower energy, your role as a light warrior. You know what I mean? You're here to show people how to heal and how to balance their inner energy, feminine, masculine, how to connect with their shadow, do shadow work, like all the things, okay? But this is a role that you've played many, 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 many times. Okay, I'm getting something specific about like Hawaii. Okay, so Lemuria, your Lemurian family is showing up. Okay, so you guys have had, you know, like a lifetime in Lemuria. I just saw 1111, where you connect with Lemuria. Also, so Hawaii is significant. The waters of Hawaii is significant. Whales and dolphins are significant. You could have had like past lives where, right, like you were in Lemuria, but like you've lived in Hawaii, you've been connected to the islands, to the tropical waters. I'm getting like a water goddess or water healing. So you're someone who's been able to tap into the water energy and frequencies and codes and use it for really powerful healing work. Okay, like you've worked with sacred waters before as well, where just like Mary Magdalene, like in France, you know, there's sacred like, you know, wells and oh my gosh, like I can't think of it right now, like what is it called, like pools of water and wells and springs and things like that, and the water is like so powerful, so healing, so activated, you know what I mean? But she would go and she would do her blessings and her you know, baptisms, not baptism like Christianity, like you got to get saved and baptized, you know, so you don't go to hell. It's not, that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the true divine, you know, the true Christos. Okay. So anyways, but there's something very powerful with you guys and the water. Now, Aquarius is the water bearer, right? A lot of people think Aquarius is a water sign, but you guys are air sign, obviously, but you do have a very strong connection to the water. Okay, I'm also being shown the infinity symbol. So working with symbols, but maybe the infinity symbol is a symbol that you've been very connected to for many lifetimes, and in this lifetime as well. And then symbols in general, I think, symbols in general, like sacred geometries, like light language channeling, light language symbols. You could be like, as if you're like an angelic, an earth angel, an angelic messenger. I can see with my third eye, like angelic writing, like angel writing. It's different from like galactic star or light language, like symbols. It's different, but I can see it, but I can never draw it. Same thing with like my light language. I can speak it and I can visually see it with my third eye, but if I go pen to paper, I have a very difficult time channeling the symbols out the way that I see them in my third eye. So that could be something that you resonate with too, or maybe you're just like being opened up to draw more symbols. Horus is on the bottom of the deck. So now we have Horus coming through. This is connected to ancient Egypt, right? The lands of Egypt, the pyramids, like all the things, right? But it does speak of a gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. You are a master manifester, like you've mastered alchemy, like in a huge way in other lifetimes. Like, you know how to, you know, turn lead into gold. You know what I mean? You know how to turn your pain into power and how to help other people turn pain into power. Miraculous changes are occurring for you right now, Aquarius. Yes, they are, because you are a great teacher who's awakening to more of like your soul path and mission here. Okay, you're here to lead the way for many. Scorpio got that strong leadership energy too, which is funny, because I kept wanting to say Scorpio. But anyways, these miracles are occurring now because of the huge cycles that you've completed connecting to your lineage, your bloodline, and past lives. Okay. Also, like, how powerful your thoughts are right now, you guys. Like, be very aware, you know, like, thoughts become things, words are spells, right? Yeah, we definitely have brothers and sisters of the rose lineage here, because now the Miriam is showing up. Look at the white lilies again and the roses again. A lot of red, a lot of white. Okay. Sacred vision. You have a sacred vision. And it's funny because Horus just spoke of your thoughts. Like, what are you thinking about? What are you envisioning? What are you seeing? It is sacred. Pay attention to what you're thinking about, or what your passions are, or, you know, where you're feeling called, or what keeps showing up in front of you for guidance. Choose to forgive in order to heal. That's what you guys have been doing. You've been healing and moving through these forgiveness and healing of trauma, of anger, rage, past stuff, you know, injustices, all the things. See the light in all. You guys have a gift of being able to see the true, like, you see people on a soul level. You see people on a soul level, and I do too. And when we see people on a soul level, okay, instead of like the human ego, like, you know, how whatever in the 3D, right? Like, we see people on a much higher level, right? So we immediately can see people for who they truly are. We can feel the soul resonance. We know, like, you know, like, it gives us a lot of like compassion and empathy and things like that, because we see on such a high soul level. Remember that love has no boundaries. So you're a teacher of the rose, or you're a guide, or, you know, you're someone who, you know, you're meant to, like, you're opening up more to that. So very high level priestess and high priest work. If you resonate as like a priestess of the rose, you definitely have a beautiful divine masculine counterpart who is meant to be by your side as a warrior, a protector. And I feel like, right, this is past life, so it's past life soulmate. It could be a twin flame, but someone that it's like, see the twins? Okay, so there's that too. And I feel that, like, with these phases and cycles and it's cosmic gateway, this portal that's open for you guys right now, like, there's a lot of blessed energy around you, but, you know, you've paid your dues, basically. Like, the universe is saying, like, good job, Aquarius, like, you did it, like, here you go, things are happening, things are aligning, miracles are happening for you, it's miraculous energy, okay? But you have very strong sacred vision. You're able to see things on very profound, deep levels. You can tap into past, present, future timelines like nothing, super easy. You could be a psychic professionally, a medium, psychic medium. You could be a tarot reader. Have, like, you know, like a platform, or that's something maybe that you're wanting to do. Or maybe you're just like opening up more to like your spiritual gifts and like your spiritual work. Look at that. See, oh my God, I literally just spoke of divine masculine being a divine, like, protector for the priestess, you know what I mean? And look, the divine director, but it says intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So like, Spirit is saying, like, you've had a lot of lifetimes, you know, where you have been extremely happy, but you've known so much pain, so much suffering, right? So much injustice. You're here to be happy. You're here to live your purpose as a teacher and hold your sacred vision and follow it and show others that too. You're a divine director. You're here to direct and teach and lead from a place of true divine love, without judgment, without ego, without, you know, I mean, like, distorted ego. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, there's a lot of that in the spiritual community, you know, like, people who I don't know, they create more separation than unity. You know what I mean? A lot of distorted ego, a lot of, you know, I have unfollowed so many people, you guys, because of that. You know, like people get, I don't know, they either get infiltrated or they get, you know, just too much in the ego. You know, it's like content creators, you know, who, right, like you start to gain followers and things like that, and then it goes to your head. Instead of it humbling you, it fuels the fire of the distorted ego, right? So I'm sharing all this for a reason, probably because you're someone who can see through that very strongly. Okay? You're definitely here to protect people as well. Like you're here to protect people from the injustices and things like that. Okay, so you're a bringer of justice. You're a bringer of truth. You are a divine director. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a few past life oracle cards. All of my reading options and spiritual services that I provide you guys as a psychic medium and a priestess, it is in the description box below. Akashic record readings, healing sessions. I do goddess channelings, vent sessions, you know, and then general psychic mediumship readings, things like that. I know so many people are, you know, a lot of people are feeling like they need extra guidance right now, support, insight, confirmation. So anyways, you guys, if you feel called to connect with me, I am here for you. And all the things. Okay, so here we go. First card, Egypt. Yeah, exactly. Horus, see? Very strong. Now, Mary Magdalene, the Rose lineage, like, okay, like Egypt, you know, and many of the sacred lands, like not just in Egypt, but like surrounding areas. Like I'm also getting like very strong ties to Israel, Iran. Now I'm getting like Bangladesh, Turkey, Marrakesh, Morocco. I just got chills all the way up my right leg for confirmation. So, you know, like when you guys, like if you're channeling and like, or you're, you know, thinking about something and you get like those angel chills, those confirmation, like those divine like goosebumps, that's a message, that's a confirmation. Okay, so you're very connected. What I'm specifically getting is for some of you guys, like you were actually there, like you were a part of this, you know, the souls that, like it was like you channeled out how to build the pyramids, because the pyramids are cosmic. They're stargates. They're energy vortexes. They are connections to the cosmos, to the stars, right? There's underground things going on behind or below the pyramids, like way underground. Okay, so they are there's a lot going on, but I'm getting are like some of the masterminds behind that. Okay, so you could be very strong Pleiadian, Arcturian. I'm also getting Lyran. You could be very connected to the Lyrans or be Lyran. You could be a hybrid starseed too, you know what I mean? Like you've been in many dimensions, you've been in many star systems, you know what I mean? Okay, for some of you guys, like you have a call to visit Egypt, the lands of Egypt. The codes of Egypt are calling you. Okay, like when my whole crown chakra right now, as I say this, you guys, is tingling like crazy. It will activate and open up your crown and your connection to your higher self, to source, to God, so much more. It's like it's open. It's like an activator that just opens your channels. I swear, like my whole crown is just tingling. I resonate with that too, because Egypt has been calling me for a while now, you know. And I will get there when the divine timing is right. And then going back to like Lemuria too for you guys, like Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta in the mountain is the city of Telos, which is Lemuria, basically, right? So you may be getting visitation from your Lemurian family. You could have like visions or dreams of Lemuria walking into Telos. And you'll know, like, if that's you, like, you'll know, you will definitely know. But Mount Shasta could be calling you here in California. I'm only like a few hours away from, I'm south of Mount Shasta a few hours, but it is a vortex. It is the root chakra of the earth. Okay, so again, it's, you know, very powerful. Imprisonment or slavery. You've had past lives. Wounds and trauma. You may not like being in confined spaces, or you get claustrophobic. An elevator, like that's what I'm getting, is like an elevator, or like you might be someone where you always need like the window cracked in the car because like it's too, you know? That's me. I get, you know, because I've had past lives where I have been enslaved, and I've been imprisoned. I died in prison from being cold, freezing, and starving, and dehydrated. You know, very brutal stuff that our souls have been through. You know what I mean? We are our own ancestors, but you guys know. And, you know, you could have been imprisoned in Egypt or by a pharaoh or something like that, or maybe you were the one doing the imprisoning. Okay, so anyways, but there could be some like trauma wounding around that too from past lives. I'm getting like a big fat yeah, you know what it feels like. All right, let's get one more. I'm getting like being in prison because of your gifts, because of your work. And now what I'm receiving is like you saying in a past life, like you're trying, like as they're like taking you away and manhandling you and things, you're like, I'm just a healer and I'm just helping people. Like, you know, like it's like the witch wound, like being accused of being a witch and this and that. And when really all you were doing was like using mortar and pestle and breaking down herbs and making, you know, poultices and elixirs and oils and, you know, healing things and stuff like that. That's what I'm getting. But you could also, you know, be dabbling with magic as well. But I don't see it as dark magic. I see like white magic. You know what I mean? We have the Greco-Roman. Okay, so like Roman Empire, Italy. I'm also getting like ancient Greece. So you could be very connected to ancient Greece. Again, maybe called to the land or to Italy. I'm getting like an architect. So maybe you were there to help build the pyramids, and maybe you helped build the Colosseums and all of, you know, the Roman Empire in that way. You were definitely around for the Roman occupation for some of you guys, for sure. Okay, it could have been the Romans who imprisoned you, actually, because that's what they were doing. It was like genocide. They were, you know, trying to eradicate the priestess and our teachings and the divine feminine, like from the land. You know what I mean? And they did. They succeeded. They instilled the church, and it was patriarchal rule, and like, you know, until now, right? Joke's on them. Karma, baby. You could be very connected to the unicorns. You could have a unicorn spirit animal guides. You're just connected with them. But this is about like your magical spiritual wisdom. It's very high dimensional, very powerful, and very pure. The unicorn speaks of pureness, purity, wholeness in that regard as a divine sovereign. Meaning like, you know, you use your gifts for good. You have a pure soul, pure heart, like that. You know what I mean? Like you're not here to be greedy. You're not here to screw people over. You're not here to use your spiritual gifts for manipulation or greed or this or that. You know, people ask stupid questions to me all the time as a seer, as a psychic, as an oracle, right? They'll say things like, oh, if you're really psychic, then, you know, why don't you, you know, use your gifts to guess the lotto numbers so you win the lottery? You know, like they'll say stupid things like that. And I'm like, see, that's exactly why I have these gifts and you don't, because you think that way and I don't. I use my gifts for helping and healing and for the greatest and highest good of all, not to guess lotto numbers so I become rich. Like that is so, like, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? And I feel like some of you guys might have a lot of anger around that, actually, because I feel like in past lives, you've witnessed a lot of that. Like, you witnessed, like, you know, dark magicians and dark wizards and, you know, dark priestesses and things like that who do things for manipulation and for power. And we still see that darkness and manipulation of energy and you know, dark magic and, you know, rituals with sacrificial rituals and things like that to obtain power and youthfulness and, you know, all the things, okay? So you might have it's an injustice, and that's what us light warriors are doing. We are transmuting that. We are eradicating that from the earth, right? So I just feel like a lot of anger around that coming from you guys. So it's like, it makes your blood boil, but at the same time, you're like, well, that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't know, but I'm going to leave it here. Actually, I'm going to get a couple of these. I love you guys so much. I think I already said that, right? Our Magdalene retreat that we are doing in the south of France. Okay, we have a lot of that energy here, okay? It is, we are going to southern France, sacred lands that are super, super powerful, you guys. I am co-hosting with my soul familia, two beloved souls, Stellar and John, who are a divine union couple, who are embodiments of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And what they're doing is they're bringing their true teachings to the earth, and that's the work they do. And they've been doing these spiritual retreats, the Magdalene Code retreats. See, twin flame mission, as I'm talking about Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, who were twin souls. They are twin flames. And Stellar and John, you know, divine Hieros Gamos union. John is a walk-in soul. He came into, into this body that he's in to be a protector and a space holder and a warrior for Stellar in her sacred work. Okay. But then they work together too, right? So I'm talking to twin souls. Some of you guys have a very strong twin flame mission. The twin flame connection and soul frequency, it's not about romance and, you know, like holding hands and going to the movies and going to dinner and, oh my God, it's not that. It is a sacred, holy, divine, sovereign mission. Meaning, you guys are here to heal, to activate. You guys are here to do spiritual work together, or the divine masculine holds space for the feminine that does this work. Like, however it works, but that's what it's about. And it's also about coming back to yourself, the beloved within. Hieros Gamos union with yourself, right? So you could be a twin flame who's like myself, like where a part of your mission is to maybe, you know, do healings and channelings and share like how I do. I teach and I guide for these connections because these are very intense, even past life soul connections that are ancient, you know? Like, I can't even tell you how throughout this journey so far, how many people have reached out or commented or emailed or shared or whatever, where they're like, I don't know what I would have done through my twin flame journey if it hadn't been for your, you know, your readings and stuff and your videos. Like, it truly has helped me and guided me and all these different things, right? So I'm sharing that because I feel like you guys carry a lot of that same, like, you know, whether it's twin flame mission, but obviously it is. So anyways, going back to the retreat, if you want to hear more about this beautiful, beautiful sacred initiation vacation, it's a beautiful, you know, we stay in a 5-star resort, you know, like hotel. We go to sacred places in the land, sacred sites that also many people who, you know, they go and visit from all over the world too. They come to visit these places. But Stellar and John have directly been guided by Yeshua and Mary Magdalene to other sacred sites that are not known. Stargates, pyramids, portals, you know, et cetera, that other people do not know about, except for them. So you have a big mission on earth. Wow, twin flame mission. And then you have a big mission on earth. And then look, Lemurian blood. I knew it. So, and then Jesus descendant, as I'm talking about this right here, you guys, this is so strong. So your descendants, or you maybe come from the bloodline of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, because they did have a family, they did have children. Their daughter Sarah, like a lot of people know of her, and like, but anyways, like the stuff that was like put into the Bible and like the stories and things, a lot of it obviously is based from truth. A lot of it is truth, but a lot of it is deception and lies and just pure BS. Okay. So anyways, and then you have very strong psychic powers, clairvoyance, your clairs are like very strong, but this is like who you've been. Okay. So you could have been like, you know, in a lifetime where you walked side by side with Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, because Jesus is his Christian name that the church gave him. So it's actually blasphemous to call him Jesus. You know, his name is Yeshua ben Joseph. Okay, that is his true real name. Okay, so anyways, you guys, a lot came through. I'm gonna leave it here. Let's end on an angel message. Let's get a message from your angel guides right now. Let's just see what they want to say to you. I love you. Let me know in the comments how you guys like these, because I just felt super called to do like the zodiacs and to do past life and ancestor messages for each zodiac. And I'm like having fun with this because I love this energy, because as an Akashic reader, a guide of the Akashic records, like the Akashic readings are like my absolute favorite readings to do because they're just so cool. Oh my God. Scorpio got this exact card. You guys need to watch the Scorpio reading too. You need to watch the Scorpio reading for sure. It doesn't matter the zodiacs. Oh, I don't have Scorpio. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you. You should watch it. Okay. I just saw like 369. So you guys be seeing that a lot. 369. You could be connected to Tesla. You could be of Tesla's bloodline. You know, you could have, I don't know, Tesla could be one of your guides, your spirit guides. Like helping you, guiding you, like help, I don't know. But anyways, opportunity. Okay, so Aquarius, wondrous possibilities and opportunities await you. Stop dwelling on past mistakes. Surrender the past lovingly. There is nothing to regret. All is always in perfect and divine order. Everything that you've ever experienced has helped you in some way. The past is now behind you. The path ahead is clear. Move forward joyfully and fulfill your heart's desire. Wow. I love it, okay? I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for liking, for commenting, for all the things, you guys. It helps the channel grow. It helps the algorithms. It's good karma, good jujus for you. It helps me. It's paying it forward. And I thank you so much to get these messages out to other souls who need these, okay? So have a beautiful day. Namaste, and so it is.